Hi there, and welcome to a Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes you, Algebra 1. And we're continuing on in our second lesson of this whole entire long, great curriculum where we're going to be looking at solving one variable linear equations. And in exercise number 3, it says when solving for the exact value of an unknown variable, it is important to follow the same order of operations but in reverse. So we're going to be doing that PEMDAS that we looked at up top, that order of operations, but we're going to do it backwards in reverse. Think of it as when you're putting on your socks and shoes, you put on your socks and then your shoes. But later on, when you want to undo that, you have to take off your shoe first before you take off your sock, because it would be very tough. It's doable, but it's very tough to take off the sock and then the shoe. Just like in math, it's doable to solve something out of the order of operations, but it's very challenging. So the easiest way to do it is just the order of operations in reverse when we want to undo something. For example, in part A, it says solve the equation below. So again, we have x minus 8 equals 9. And if we are looking at our order of operations, which we know as parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction, if we were to simplify an expression, we'd go down this list. But since we're solving for an unknown, we're going to go up this list. And we're going to look for addition or subtraction first. Do you see addition or subtraction in this part of the equation? And you should say, yes, you see subtraction. So what you're going to do is the opposite or the inverse operation of that subtracting 8 to undo it. And what the inverse of minus 8 is plus 8. So we're going to add 8 to both sides of the equation, because if we add the same value to both sides of the equation, it keeps the equation equal or balanced. So now we're going to be left with x on the left side. The negative 8 and the positive 8 do cancel out, and that's going to be equal to 17. Our variable has been isolated. We have a solution, and that's all we want to do for part A. But in part B, we add in a little step. So now we have 3x plus 5 is equal to 20. And now there's two things that are being done to the value of x. First, we're going to be multiplying by x, and then we're going to be adding multiplying by 3, and then we're going to be adding 5 to it. So again, let me just write my order of operations here. And this would be for simplifying, but since we're solving, we're going to go in reverse. We're going to look for addition or subtraction being done to our variable. I see that we're adding on to our variable, so the first thing we're going to undo is that addition by the inverse operation of subtraction. So again, we're going to have 3x brought down because we haven't used that yet. The 5 and the negative 5 cancel out, and 20 minus 5 will give me 15. So now that I have 3x is equal to 15, I've undone my addition and subtraction. So I move on up my list and I look if there's multiplication or division. And I see that there's multiplication between this 3 and this x. This is really 3 times x. So to undo the multiplication by 3, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And that there will isolate my variable of x. And I will get x is equal to 5. Once again, I started at the bottom of this list of operations and I moved on up until I got to, in this case, multiplication or division, because there were no exponents or parentheses in this problem. So I get an answer of x equals 5. That's my solution. So for each of the above equations, your intuition probably guided you to solve each equation. But now, can you see how the reverse order of operations was used? So you might have already known just add 8 to both sides. But the reason we added 8 to both sides is because that's the first step in undoing our order of operations. Same thing over here on part B. You might have known which 2 steps to do first. But now you could see that's because you do the addition or subtraction first and then the multiplication or division. So if this video was helpful in explaining the process by which you're going to be following to solve equations in the future, please give this video a thumbs up. And you're now ready to go on to exercise number 4 in this lesson.